A lot of hype has been building towards this weekend, promoting the biggest games of the season in their respective leagues, in La Liga and in the Bundesliga, where Real Madrid hosted Girona at the Santiago Bernabeu and where Bayern Leverkusen hosted Bayern Munich. Honestly, this weekend and these two games were nothing of what I was expecting was going to happen, at least. In terms of results, I was not expecting 7 total goals today. Let's start in Spain, where we head to Madrid, where Los Blancos beat Girona 4-0. Honestly, this wasn't really what I was expecting. I kind of expected Real Madrid to get a result out of this, but 4-0 I thought was a little extreme. I thought Girona was really going to give Real Madrid some sort of fight. It kind of looked like they were tired out. Let's go over the game, some key details, and highlight some player performances. So early in the match, Vinicius Jr. opened the scoring in the 6th minute before he gave an amazing assist to Jude Bellingham to double the lead around the 30-ish minute mark. Bellingham got his second of the game after Vinicius Jr. took a shot on goal and then got the rebound. But then, and then Rodrigo finished it up with an amazing strike, a beautiful run just breaking through the defense, maybe with about 30 minutes left of the game. And the Brazilian duo just absolutely sparkled this entire game. Now, everything that I'm saying, and in terms of the player performances, is not really a surprise. We know Rodrigo's a good player. We know Vinicius Jr. is a good player. We know Jude Bellingham is a beast. So none of this should come as a surprise to really anybody. I'm just going to be talking about how Real Madrid completely bullied Girona. But yeah, something clicked today with Real Madrid. To me, Madrid's control in the midfield was just absolutely spot on. Toni Kroos, he had 43 completed passes. He never messed up a pass. Toni Kroos was able to drop deeper and just play in that deep line playmaker role. He played a bunch of long passes. I'm going to see if I could put this map up of where Toni Kroos made his passes against Girona. As you can see, there's a bunch of long passes coming in from that deep part of the midfield. Then even at the opposition's half, you can see at least from the center circle, he's making a bunch of long passes. Like, all he's making are long to medium passes out wide. And they all landed. They all connected. But I don't want to talk bad about Girona this entire time because, let's be honest, I've said this multiple times. Girona are not even supposed to be in the position that they are in. They're literally competing for the league title and a Champions League spot after never winning a league title ever in their history. Barely competing in La Liga in general. They're a D2 side. They're literally a Segunda División side. So the fact that they're in this position is just way overachieving. So we can't be too hard on them. And if you did watch my last video, I did talk about some of the key players that they were missing. Like, probably the main figure is their head coach. He was suspended after that game against Real Sociedad. Obviously, losing your manager for a big game like against Real Madrid, it's definitely going to hinder that performance. And not having that presence there will definitely have a negative impact. But let's look at the positives from Girona. I mean, they were the top goal-scoring team in La Liga. Obviously, Madrid overtook that after the 4-0 win. And they did lose some of their key players like Herrera and Blind, also due to suspension. So it wasn't the best day for them. I believe they did have some changes and maybe a change in tactics because of their coach not being there. So it just wasn't really a good day at the office for Girona. But I think it's safe to say that Girona are kind of glad that this is over, and then they could just look forward to the rest of the season. They don't have to worry about Madrid anymore. They don't have to worry about really facing big clubs or really too competitive matches, because I believe if they keep playing and performing the way they have done in the beginning half of the season, then I think this second half should be really well. Maybe they won't win the league, but I think they'll end up in that top 4. But you also have to think about it. It's times like this where teams like Girona will struggle, because teams like Girona will have an amazing first half run up until January. They'll have an amazing run in the league. They'll surprise everybody. They'll be top 4, even first place. Then after January, they'll just start tanking down with the results. Maybe the players can't keep up, or the pressure really gets to them. And there you kind of separate the boys from the men, if that makes sense. So what does this loss for Girona mean? What does this win for Real Madrid win? Is the title pretty much sealed? Are Real Madrid going to win the title now? And the answer is, we don't know. if your money's on Madrid, I think it's a safe bet. Because you just got to look at their team. Just look at the lineup. You have Toni Kroos, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Valverde, Camavinga. There's no bad player in that team. They're technically gifted. Tactically, it's incredible, physically better than any other team in La Liga, and they just play with absolute confidence. I don't want to call it cockiness, but their confidence on the ball, their confidence playing with one another, their chemistry is just too good. So if you want a reminder of what La Liga table looks like now, it looks like this. Ancelotti sides are now 5 points ahead of Girona and 11 points clear of Barcelona, who are in third place. Barcelona will be playing Sunday tomorrow, and they will host Granada. Will Barcelona keep up? I mean, you know, they've been under a lot of scrutiny recently, and I've made a whole video about that, so you should check that out. I'll put that link in the description if you are interested. There is still so much football to be played, but in my opinion, I think Real Madrid are going to be champions of La Liga. All right, let's move on to the second half of this video where we're going to talk about Bayer Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. What is a 3-0 victory to Leverkusen? I thought this was an unbelievable game for the home team. I thought Bayern Munich could not have played any worse than they did tonight. I'm going to put the table of the Bundesliga right here for you. So basically, Leverkusen are now 5 points clear top of the table. Bayern Munich are just chilling in that second place spot. And yeah, this 3-0 victory for them is huge for what the rest of the season could potentially look like. It's huge in a positive way. In my opinion, I thought Grimaldo was MVP. He was the man of the match, player of the game. Absolutely spectacular performance from him on that left-hand side. He did score the decisive goal to give Leverkusen the 2-0 lead in the second half. Of course, after their first opening goal came from Bayern loanee Stanisic. But yeah, Bayern played with a 5 at the back formation. They didn't look good defensively at all. They were bad offensively, they were bad defensively. Wasn't a surprise, especially in that second half, that they weren't going to win this game. Once Thomas Tuchel realized that that 5 in the back formation just was not helping them, he did switch it up. He switched back to the 4 back, and then they got very desperate towards the end. They just wanted to, I guess, score at least one. Neuer came off the goal in like the 94th minute of a corner kick, or a Bayern Munich corner kick. Ball was cleared. Frimpong on the right-hand side, he just absolutely smashes it in the back of the net from like the halfway line, and yeah, that was 3-0. Also, I'm reading this just now. It says Leroy Sané punched the camera in frustration at the final whistle. Yeah, it just says here that Leroy Sané punched the camera in frustration at the final whistle. I didn't even see that on TV. Shifting over to another player in Bayern, it's Harry Kane was an absolute ghost today. Like, he didn't play. He just didn't play at all. I was double checking my work and double checking the stats for the game, because when I was watching it in person, it felt like this, but I just had to check because maybe I missed some. But Bayern Munich only had 1 shot on target out of 9 total. They had a 0.57 xG. Bayern Leverkusen had a 1.4 xG, 14 shots, 8 on target. So that's just how clinical they were with their shooting. It's just not a Bayern Munich side that we're used to seeing, especially after the amazing form that Harry Kane has been ever since he joined the German side. This is what Harry Kane had to say in an interview after the game. We didn't play well with the ball. We pressed well, but when we got it, we seemed to just give it back to them. That allowed them to build momentum. In the final third, we weren't good in the 1v1 battles or duels. The final delivery wasn't there. A really disappointing day with the ball. And he honestly couldn't have said it better. Literally, not a single duel was won. Bayer Leverkusen were all over the attack. Like, their defense was just all over them. All over them. I have to give props to Xabi Alonso because the hype that is being projected around this Leverkusen side is being lived up to. The hype is definitely being lived up to. I knew that from the get-go, but I think this win over Bayern Munich, I think that really is an eye-opener for everyone, really. And I could see Leverkusen winning their first ever Bundesliga title this season. So what's next for both clubs? Leverkusen are going to continue their Bundesliga title challenge. Undefeated, by the way. I believe they're the only club in Europe that are undefeated. I'm 99% sure that they're the only club in Europe that are undefeated right now. But yeah, they continue Bundesliga action next Saturday, February 17th, where they will travel to Heidenheim. Bayern Munich will now turn to Champions League action, where they will head to Italy on Wednesday to face Lazio in the first leg of the round of 16. But I would love to know what you would think is going to happen this season at the Bundesliga. Do you think Xabi Alonso and Leverkusen are going to make history and win their first ever Bundesliga title? Or do you think that Bayern Munich will, or do you think they will drop points towards the end and Bayern Munich will regain their top spot? Do you think another team could sneak in, like maybe Borussia Dortmund or Stuttgart, who are in third place with 40 points? They are like 10 to 15 points behind second place, but you never know. With enough points being dropped, Stuttgart could definitely make a top two. It's all about optimism, but please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please, like always, leave a like and comment down below. Your thoughts are always welcomed, and I really enjoy reading the comments and your thoughts. If there's anything that I have missed in this video that you would have liked that I talked about, please leave some feedback in the comments down below. That would also be really appreciated, as I do this all to inform you guys. But thank you for subscribing to SoFlo Soccer, and I will see you all in the next video.